Today we're learning the signs for I Sing the Mighty Power of God, and hopefully we can get it all within one video here. Remember, I'm left-handed, so mirror image me if you're right-handed. Okay, so we have I, which you could leave out, and then sing. The mighty, for power, I do a P and do like this. You could just do a flat hand. Power of God. And we'll go quicker through the signs we've done in earlier lessons. That made, this is make or made. Mountains, so for mountains you do a rock and then go up. So make the mountains rise, we could do that in several different ways. So we could do mountains and then rise up more, or we could do rise this way. I kind of think this would be better, to rise up like that. That spread, and we'll be skipping words like that. That is a Y down in your hand like this, that. But I don't plan to do that. Spread, you take your hands like this and spread out like that. This is not exactly an O, you know, an O is like this, so it's similar but flattened, and you spread out. That's spread. The flowing seas abroad. So probably I wouldn't really do anything for flowing, but for seas I would do water, and then you make your waves. We've done that before, and I don't know that it does anything to really add abroad, so I would probably just do spread the seas. Okay, and built the lofty skies. So this is build or built. Probably wouldn't do anything for lofty. So skies is kind of like this. I usually do it with a B to show blue skies. That's what I was taught, but you could just use an open hand to do the skies. So the lofty skies. I sing the wisdom. So again, the I you can leave out. Sing. For wisdom, you take an X and you kind of go up and down in front of your head like that, your forehead. The wisdom. That ordained, I would do planned for ordained. So the wisdom that planned. The sun to rule the day. So for sun, you can make a circle and then shine it like that. Some people don't do the circle with the finger, they just do this and then shine it. So this is probably the way I'll do it, but you can do that instead. Okay, the sun to rule, we've had that before where we have X's, it's like controlling a marionette puppet. To rule the day. The moon shines full at his command. So for moon, this is a C. Basically, you want to take a modified C and put it to your eye and then bring it out. Moon. So the moon. For shines, I'll do like this. Shines full at his command. You can leave off at. This is a sign for at, but you can just drop that. His command. That's like, remember, law and command, or Old Testament and New Testament. So, and then his will with a W. So command. And all the stars. This is stars with your index finger shining like that. Obey. Now, I had learned obey long ago like this, just bringing your hands down. But what I've been seeing on the internet now is touching with one hand and then coming out like that. Obey. So I'm going to be switching to that because that seems to be what is the new, I don't know how new it is, but I had learned this 40 years ago, so So I'm going to go with what I'm seeing. Obey. Okay, I sing the goodness. We have good, and then we have bad. Good with your palm up, and bad with your palm down. Excuse me. Okay, the goodness of the Lord that filled the earth with, you could leave that off if you want, food. And you could do food this way if you want to. This would be lots of food. This is just a sign for food. Okay, he formed the creatures with his word. So for formed, we could do several things here. We could do make, which we used earlier in the song. So he made the creatures. Or another thing you could do is you could form this way, kind of make an image like that. In fact, if you do it with eyes, that's image. Okay, so you can form things that way, or you can do make, whichever you want to. For creatures, I'll do animals, and that's a new sign for us. So you take your fingers like this, and you do like that. So form the animals. I mean, it's really all the creatures, but I don't know if the author of the song meant humans and animals, but we're just going to do animals. With his word. This is word, where you take a finger and touch it like that. Word. And then pronounce them good. So if you want to do the word then, we've had that before. Pronounced, this is like a declaration or a pronouncement that you come out. It's like a big thing that you're saying. Pronounced them good. There's our good again. Goodness and good are the same sign. So Lord, how thy wonders, I'd probably leave off how, which is like this. How thy wonders are displayed. For wherever, I would do no matter where. No matter where, wherever I turn my eye. So I would just look different directions for that. If I survey the ground I tread, so for that I'm going to look down at the ground. If I survey the ground that I tread or walk, or gaze upon the sky. Okay. There's not a plant or flower below. So we can say not. For plant, you could do that in one of two ways. Basically, this is grow. Grow. If you do it twice, that's plant. But you can also do plant by growing a pea out of your hand and bringing it to the side. Plant. Plant. And I never actually saw that until today. I've always done this. Okay, which is probably what I'll think to do during the song, but that is also plant. Flower, so basically you smell on both sides of your nose. Flower. Now, if it's a rose, you can do it with an R. Flower. Below, that makes thy glories known. So rather than using the sign for make here, because that's a sign that actually means to make something. And we're really talking about showing his glory. So I think showing or displaying his glory would be better. Thy glories known. Let's see. And clouds arise and tempests blow. So here we have clouds. So clouds arise. you could say come, or you could just leave that part out. Clouds arise and tempests. So we've got winds, you could do strong winds, and then you could show this, rain just coming down hard. So, so I'll probably do something like this, and clouds, strong winds, like that. Let's see. And that would cover clouds arise and tempests blow by order or command from thy throne. Let's see, how are we doing? Okay, while. So for while you do this, it's kind of like time passing and something's going on during that time passing. So while all that borrow. So let's talk about borrow. So if you take the K hand and you tap it, that means keep. But you can also lend by giving it out, or borrow by bringing it toward you. Okay, so we say, while all that borrows life from thee is ever or always in thy care. Now for care, a lot of people do it with K's, or I learned it to be kind of like look, and so this is kind of looking all around, looking after somebody, caring for somebody, but some people will do it with K's, and some people might not go all the way around, but that's probably what I'll do. Okay, so thy care. So this is looking after. It's kind of looking this way and looking that way, all over in thy care. And everywhere that man can be, so we've had everywhere before, everywhere that man can be, so you can do the can in there if you want, and take a be hand from the mouth, that's be, so, or man can be, thou, God, art present there. So different ways you can do this too. You could say present or here, or you could show God appearing, that God appears there, so everywhere that man can be, God appears there. So might do both, do appears here. So you have some options there. Okay, so those are the words. Now we'll practice to music.